Today on Hertz Homestead, we're going to be going over how to become a beekeeper, where to start as a beekeeper, and help out your local community as a beekeeper. These are all three major things that are very important as becoming a beekeeper. So this is a, I'm going to chase you down, rooster, and eat you. Shut up. So this is a package. The bees usually will come in this. This is where I all started with this package. There'll be a little can in here. Sorry about my rooster. He's getting mad at me. I don't know what I'm doing. And the neighbor dogs are barking. So come in here. You can also get a nuke, which is just 5 frames already pretty much pre-built out with a queen and bees. A lot better for starting out. I had a top bar hive, so it wasn't as easy. So I came inside to tell you guys a little bit more without the top dogs barking and stuff. And I'm going to be breaking through the video and just randomly popping up and talking about stuff. So first one is how to become a beekeeper. So obviously you want to go with a nuke or a package of bees. And this is important because if you go with a package of bees, you're just getting bees, no comb, no comb really, and honey and maybe some sort of way brood, which really helps start off a colony. So if I were a new beekeeper, I'd probably want to go look for a nuke. And I didn't do that. I started off with a package. It's definitely possible. But this is another great thing about getting a nuke. The bees will probably take to the new hive better with a nuke because they already have that smell of their comb in that place. Because I know people have installed packages of bees. I got lucky, but after 3 days, after the queen nibbles out of the candy, they'll go fly away and find a new home. Queen doesn't want to live there. The smell of the box is too piney or something like that, or just has something they don't like about it. So what they'll do is they'll fly away and find a new home. This happens to a lot of people, but with a nuke, that's like chances of that are cut down by at least 1/3. So that right there, the small hive beetle. Boom. And these things, they like to feed on your hive, but a strong hive will be able to keep them at bay. And almost every hive will eventually get wax moths or small hive beetles. But it shouldn't be the end, which if it is the end, it means you have mites. So this is also another really important tip of becoming a new beekeeper. What type of hive you choose. And just remember, because this is what my thinking was, oh, I get a top bar hive, collect all this comb, and be stupid. No, you're not going to be stupid. That's why I'm here. So Langstroth hives, I cannot stress this, there's a reason they work. Because they're easy. They're really, really easy. And your bees will probably make it through winter with a Langstroth hive. If they don't, then it's because you have mites. You have a mite problem. So what you can do if you want to collect wax, like I did, just pop out the black frame thing, and because getting from a top bar hive to a Langstroth is really, really tough. And there's a reason. The most common, and because it's the most common, there's stuff for it already made. So if you want to get down your mites real good, they sell like these like feeders that go in the Langstroth hive. They sell stuff for it. In the top bar hive, you're gonna have to build something insane, and it probably won't work, and it will make it not fun, and then your bees will probably die. Oh man. That is all brand new brood that they have built in 2 weeks. So this is another big thing I learned as a beekeeper this year. Feed your bees. Your population will explode. Look how much these bees grew in just 2 weeks. And fall, not many flowers. Then this side, something completely different. This is all nectar and honey that they're trying to store away for the winter. I don't see any eggs in that or anything. Let's keep digging. Maybe I don't see any eggs or larvae. So let's see. Let's keep going. So this is a comb I actually transported, and from the other hive when I did a split. But as you can see, or at least I hope you guys can see, there our larva in there and our queen. And she's beautiful, ain't she? She's huge. Play a game. Let's spot the queen. She's still on here, right? Okay. It's hiding. So when you're feeding from the top like this, you don't want the water, the entrance, to be right above the hive where that hole is located, because it will drip down all over the bees. And I forgot to treat my bees. That's okay. So I make this little concoction right here. I'm gonna be showing in a future video. So, but I already have video on it, so you gotta search for it though. But I spray this on like in the entrance, and this kills all the mites as they're going into the hive. Healthy hive will make it through the winter. About 50% of beekeepers lose their bees over winter, and it's not because really the mites. It's because the mites eat at the fat of the bees, causing them to freeze. Oh, another important thing to remember when you're becoming a new beekeeper is the difference between larva, drone, brood, queen cells, and also pick up on some of look up some different things about queens and learning how queens kind of operate, because queens do not control the hive. So what the queens will do is the other bees will say, "Hey, we're gonna swarm," and the queen will stop laying eggs. So if you go in your hives, this happened to me this year, and you're like, "Oh, there's no eggs, but there's a queen," and you find queen cells, right when one of those queens are going to hatch, they're going to swarm really, really soon, or usually before the other cells hatch, because the queens will battle it out and fight. So usually they'll swarm before the queen hatches, and then the new queen will appear, and that queen will take over pretty much half the population of the hive, whoever's left, but they'll also take half your honey. So that's really disappointing. So if you want to control, because this is all about getting honey at the end of the day, and keeping your bees alive, in my opinion, because a lot of people focus too much on the honey and not enough about the bees. It goes both ways. Uh, you can lose pretty much half your storage of honey if you don't split them. So it's important that you always have like an empty box on hand. Starting out as a new beekeeper, I would never suggest starting out with a top bar hive. Leave it to the experts. I started off with one, and it's definitely doable. It just sucks. Horrendously sucks. Um, you always kill bees, no matter what. You're trying to put it back together. You got to move 4 times slower. Uh, it's just a pain, especially if you can see the bees are about to swarm. You got to take them, cut the comb out, and it just makes everything a process, and it makes it almost not enjoyable. So if you have a normal hive, a Langstroth hive, you can just pull frames out, or if you need help from another beekeeper, you can be like, hey, I need some frames of honey or brood. They didn't make a queen in time. They'd be, oh, okay, here you go. With this, you can't do that. So it's a lot more risky. And I noticed that they swarm a lot more for top bars from all the other beekeepers that I watch. So better example of what a small hive beetle looks like. So we'll kill that, that. This hive is harder to treat for small hive beetles, that's for sure. So let's try and fill this up with nectar. I got a bunch of fuzzy bees on here, which means new bees. Don't see any eggs, but that's okay. This far out in the hive, that usually means nectar. Got some honey. Not enough that I feel comfortable putting them through winter, but hey, it was their choice to swarm twice this year. They had full frames of honey. I thought it was super cool, but that's on them. Now, how to help out your local beekeeping community. So I kind of wish I would have done this, and this is a really weird tip, but it's actually something I learned. Uh, Go look on Facebook Marketplace. There's a ton of people getting rid of beehives. But that's not the biggest thing. There's also local beekeepers that'll get you a better deal, be able to give you some experience. So I looked one up. I live in South Carolina. I went on Facebook Marketplace and I needed a box for an emergency because my bees were going to swarm. So met up with the guy. He was like, "Yeah, I sell nukes and bees, and I sell them year round. So if you're like, oh man, I really want to get bees and get a hive, he can set you up, and he'll be like, hey, this is how you get them through winter. They will, they because it's kind of smaller. You can you're helping them out with money for a service for like a box or bees. But most of the time, they're pretty normal people that are into the hobby and they want to see you succeed. And maybe they can mentor you a little bit. I learned a lot of my tips from a local beekeeper. Uh, really great resource. I'm going to be going out there with him sometime in the spring and showing you his setup. I'm going to be buying more stuff off of him and showing you why I'm buying that equipment. Really great guy. So stay updated if you guys want to learn more. But yeah, go look on Facebook Marketplace. Smartest choice I ever made. Great people. Okay, here we go. So this side has a lot more honey. On this side, it's darker honey, so that means it's this time of the year's honey. So that's good. So let's keep going further. This was all drone brood. You can tell because it was a little bit bigger, and now they're just turning it into honey. So let's see if we can find any. See if we can find any brood. That's what we're gonna really want to be looking for. All pollen. Okay. Interesting. More honey. We got pollen right there. We got a little bit of honey up here. This one has a lot of pollen put away. So we gotta keep digging. So we do got some capped over brood and larvae. But let's do a little bit more digging and see what else we can find. Kind of see the time. Just like, oh, nothing. Little tiny babies. Capped over. And then they hatch. Let's see if we can look for eggs. I still don't see any. If you guys have any questions, just leave them down in the comments. I will respond to every single one. And there's no such thing as a dumb question. So help the local beekeeper community grow, and yeah, help each other.